Hi, everybody. It's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com. Welcome. I'm sorry about the late start there. Had one of my lights decided to fall, so some technical issues, and I'm going to wait while everybody's getting on. Thank you. I'm so glad that everybody is joining. This is so awesome. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be doing some live readings with people's spirit guides. So what does that mean? We all have, oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the support and the love and the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Hi, Lisa. It looks like Debbie and Nicole and Deborah and let's see here, Sheila. Hi. And it looks like she's on vacation. That's cool. And hi, Sharon and Debbie. It's awesome. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is kind of like when a medium does a reading, they'll have a Facebook Live and they'll have people come join and then they start reading and then people identify who it is. So as you know, I talk to spirit guides every day when I work with people to give them messages. Hi, Becky. Hi, Nicole. And they come through and they tell me different things for people that they don't otherwise feel, sense, or know. So I thought it would be great tonight to come on. I can already feel my office getting kind of heavy, so I know there's quite a few spirit guides here, but I'm going to take a moment, get quiet, and ask for them to step forward. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Brenda. And so when I start to get these messages for people that are here live, if you would kind of put in the feed, I'll watch it to see if maybe that applies to you, and I will attempt to get as many spirit guides as I can. So let me make sure I'm all tuned in here. Feeling a little bit of unsteadiness in the room, so I'm going to ask them to at least line themselves up. Nicole says too many guides. Yes, she recognizes that. So I'm asking them if they'll just line themselves up very quickly so we can see what's going on. Okay, they're reordering themselves now. Okay, this is pretty serious right out of the gate, and this being my first time. Sorry, it's a little reflection from the computer. But there is a spirit guide that's pushed his way up to the front with Archangel Michael, and he's telling me that somebody here in the audience tonight has, hi Candace, hi Rhonda, has either somebody here in the audience tonight or somebody they know is contemplating not being on the earth plane much longer. And that's serious. I'm like, here's my first time. I want to have some fun, but it is very serious. So please know that if you're in the audience, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands on this one. Hi, Shannon. But if you know somebody who is thinking about terminating their life, or if it's you, please get some immediate help, because this is a real heavy energy and I feel like it's curable. I feel like whoever that person is, you just need to reach out and let people know that you are having problems because they love you very much. So, hi Linda, I'm glad you joined. And Rosina, nice to have you aboard. Sharon. Okay. Okay, I have a guide that's stepping forward that's a little bit lighter, feels kind of fairy or sprite-like, and whoever this is attached to somebody in the audience, hi Tanya, who is really excited about gardening this year. You know, get all kinds of messages. So is there anybody here who's been thinking about it, planning their garden, getting ready to put seeds out? Hi, Rosina, good to see you too. Because this is a sprite or a fairy type, very light guide. And so whoever has that in the audience, if you know it's you, put it down in the feed. Otherwise, I'll just share the message I'm getting. But they're saying that the plot of land that you're considering gardening on has some issues with it. So if you have availability to take some of the soil and send it in and get a soil sample with CSU. Hi, Linda from Dallas, and hi, Tracy. So that guide is letting you know that there's something. I'm asking them to give me specifics, but there's something in the soil on the plot of land where you're wanting to garden that's toxic. So it feels like somebody's used a lot of pesticides in that area before, and you're considering putting in a vegetable garden, so be very careful with that. And I would recommend that maybe you go to take a soil sample, send it out to CSU, have something done quickly before you garden. Hi, Ed. Okay, so that guide says they've delivered their message. Nobody said they really connected with it, so hi Trudy, hi Billy and Rhonda. So let's see if we can pick up the next message. Okay, so there's somebody in the audience who their guide is stepping forward and they're talking to me about considering going back to school. So this feels like a woman who's in her mid 40s to 50s, considering about returning to school, considering the debt income ratio. The guide is saying that the debt income ratio is not good for you, so choosing a different path for the schooling, looking for whoever this is, according to, if you look far enough back in your lineage, you're going to find some things there. Hi, Nancy. You're going to find some things there to help you so that you can get some funding for the schooling, so it's not just coming all out of pocket. And again, if this sounds like one of your guides and you want to jump on really quick into the feed and say that belongs to you, then let me know. Looks like Sheila says she has 4 gardens there, so if that's for you, you might want to test that soil. Hi, Tracy. Let me see if there's any other, but it's very important. Whoever this is considering going back to school, like I said, it feels like a woman, mid 40s, early 50s, and she's weighing out. The guidance is saying she's weighing out the debt to income ratio. So again, if you apply for grants, the guidance is just saying there's some nuggets there in your family lineage that would help you to move forward and get that grant. Okay, wow. I only expected to do like one guide, but they seem to be circling very fast, so that's good. Hi, Stacy. Let me see. There's a couple of them. There's one guide that's talking about somebody in the audience is having really a lot of challenges with their ability to love. You don't have to raise your hand for this one. There's a little lag time there. So again, if this applies to you and you want to put something in the feed and say you recognize it, great. If not, I'll just go ahead and keep talking to the guides as they come through. Must have been a lot of them waiting. But there's somebody in our audience tonight that, hang on a second. Okay, I'm getting this applies to more than one person. There's one male and one female, not necessarily related, but their guidance is telling me that they're having a really hard time loving. There's a challenge blocking them from loving. One person, it's a situation that they're in, and one person, it's more about their family. So your spirit guides are there to support you no matter what road you're walking. So if you're having challenges walking a road of loving somebody in your family because they're belligerent, because they're taking different roads than you would like for them to choose, ask God, Spirit, or Source to help you see the truth, the love, and the light about that situation and find some distance with it. I hope that makes sense to somebody. And then the other one feels like their guidance is telling me that they're male and they're having trouble loving the situation that they're in. So if that's you, look at the situation that you're in, try to find something positive about it as you're making your transition out of it. 4 months to that transition, and then something new will come about. Okay. So hi, Heath. Okay, so let me see if there's any other guides that want to come through. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of something called New Lemuria. Lemuria is a place that exists and a place that has existed in the past. Some of us have spiritual DNA that's not from here. I know this may be new to a little bit of you just joining, but there's some people that have come spiritually from New Lemuria, and your guides are saying that you're not feeling like you're fitting in here. Whoever this person is, they said they have a huge fear of water. So if you have a fear of water, that one would be you. Hi, Chrissy. Okay, stepping back a second, Rosina says she's going through challenges with her family, and they've built a wall, learning forgiveness and healing in my life. Good. I'm glad at least one person is identifying with their guides. Thank you for that. Sometimes it's a little challenging with these bigger groups. So I'm really surprised that a lot of guides are coming through. Hi, Judy. The guides, I just asked for one to come through and maybe give me a lot of particular information about one person, and so that people can experience what that looks like when they're working with me, to know that their guides are with them and that they're communicating to you continually and they're speaking to you. Sometimes you just can't hear them. So that's when I'll come in and I'll listen to them. Sometimes I see them in my office and connect with them to give you a little steering about which direction to go or engage in. So that's pretty special. So Tracy, if you're the one that's scared of water, then that is probably the guide that's talking about you being from Lemuria or New Lemuria, and that's a spiritual inheritance that we get. So when our spiritual self comes into the clay pot, into body, as well as having a lineage from the physical DNA, we also have a spirit DNA. So that's really wonderful. I'm glad you were able to connect with that. And Tanya, if you've got that fear of water as well, as long as the other thing the guide was saying is that you don't feel like you're quite where you need to be, or you don't feel like you're quite from here. So that can happen a lot. You're welcome, Rosina. So let me see if there's any other. Okay, this is an interesting one. The guide that's stepping forward is telling me that somebody in the audience here tonight has experienced near them a murder. So that means maybe a loved one was murdered. And not necessarily that the person here tonight participated in that, but they were affected by a murder. There's a lot of fear. There's some anger. The guide is saying that this person is having a lot of challenges dealing with that murder, and they're wanting to really get back at the person who did it, but in doing that there's going to be some danger for you. So let the system handle that and just ask God, Spirit, or Source to apply the goddess of justice and hurry that along. Hi, Rachel. So whoever was affected by that murder, they're also the spirit guides of the person that was murdered are stepping forward and saying that that person has transitioned to the next plane. So if you were worried about if they crossed over, went home, went back to heaven, just know that they're good. And to find that forgiveness in your heart, as hard as that might be. Okay, now there's another guide stepping forward, and they're saying that someone here tonight is getting ready to take an airplane trip. It feels like they're going to travel over a body of water. And they're saying that when you go to take that trip, there's a transit flight. I'm not sure what a transit flight is. Maybe it's where you land in one spot and then you take a plane over the second body of water. But they're encouraging you to really watch the weather patterns because it may be better for you to delay that trip or take a different route. Okay, they're stepping back. Okay, somebody tonight here expecting a baby? Because I'm feeling like that's my daughter in the background. I'm feeling like somebody here tonight's expecting a baby. Is that if that's you, can you say yes in the feed? It's a little girl that's coming to you in body. They say she'll be quite a handful, but not to worry about her. There's going to be some issues in utero, but just keep going. Okay, they say this may be not somebody in my direct audience tonight, but somebody they're related to. This will end up being their granddaughter. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I have I did this tonight for it to be the spirit guides to give messages to people that were going to come on, but I'm actually in my office right now, and if I could turn the camera around, I have a little boy that's standing in my office. He's disembodied, which means he's a ghost, if you will. Not really technically, but he's about 4 years old, and he says he's lost his mommy. So if that's any of you and you can identify with that, would you private message me later? That's kind of heavy. And I'm going to ask for the angels of forces of light to come get him, but he's not wanting to go. He says he has a message, and he said he feels like this is his only time to get it across. So again, I did not intend to do mediumship tonight, but I can't deny this boy. Like I said, he's about 4 years old. He looks like he has blue corduroy overalls on. The shirt is more of a scoop neck with that little 1 inch like trim around it. Short sleeves. Almost look like he's wearing like the shirt's white with like railroad cars on it. Does anybody know this child that's in the feed tonight? If you can put yes in the comments. If not, I'll just help him over. He said he died in a tragic accident. So I'm sorry for your loss if this is your boy. Okay, I'm going to have the angels of light go ahead and take him home back to God, Spirit, or Source. Okay, I have a little bit of extra time, so if anybody wants to put a feed question in, just type it in. It'll take just a couple seconds. But if you have a question about spirit guides, about what they do, about how you experience them, if you would type that in. Like I said, there's a little bit of a drag with the feed, so I might be able to get those. And while I'm waiting for those to roll in, I'm not seeing any questions coming in into the feed. Okay, so for those of you that have joined a little bit later, in my work, I do talk to the spirit realm. I do talk to people's spirit guides. Often they have a message they've been trying to get to us subtly by popping things or people into our lives and we don't understand it. And so we don't know what to look for. So that's part of what I do in my job. I reach out to your spirit guides. Oh, thank you for all the thumbs up and stuff. That means a lot to me in my journey. I've worked so diligently to be a more pure channel and to be able to receive messages from the other side. And the spirit guides and talk to them and find out about what your life plan might be or why you're stuck or what your purpose is or what are the things that keep coming up over and over that are blocking you from being able to walk forward in your life. And I don't see anybody putting any more questions in the feed. So either my feed is stuck or nobody has questions. Great. Well, I do thank you for all the hearts coming in and the thumbs up. And I did see one little angry face, and I'm not sure what that was about. So if you have something that you'd like to talk about, feel free to message me on my Facebook page. Or if you like, you can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click contact. I talk about energy shift updates and things that are happening in the world. And I am sorry if my feed suddenly got stuck, but I'm not seeing. I'll just double check my cell phone to see if anybody is trying to message me that I'm not seeing up here on the feed. But it doesn't look like it. So I think we're all good there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Next Tuesday at 7:30, I will be back. So if you click the follow button on the Facebook page, it'll tell you when I'm on live, and I'll be able to answer questions. I think I'll do another one of these sessions where I come on and ask for people's spirit guides to step forward or ask for their, I don't know, maybe we should do a medium one since we had that coming on. But please do come back. And I try to post something uplifting every single day here for everybody. And I'm not seeing any more questions on the feed. Hang on, let me grab my cell phone really quick.
Listen to the.
Sorry about that. I got some. I heard some clicks. So let's see if I got. Okay, so my feed is stuck, and there are questions. Okay, let me try refreshing this just a second. Okay, so my feed is stuck. Just a moment. Let me get those questions here. I did want to get to everybody's questions. See if I can get it on my cell phone, and then I can read the questions that way. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. I did want to get to everybody's questions. See if I can get it on my cell phone and then I can. Okay. Okay. So it says, see if I can get the questions here real quick. This is my first time to do this, if you can't tell. Let's see here. Okay, so somebody wanted to know more information about the baby in the womb. Let me ask that guide to come back forward. Okay, so what they're doing is they're bringing forward to me the soul that has chosen to come into body for that baby. Okay, so that baby that's in utero is saying that it's not getting the proper nutrition. So I would ask you that if you're having morning sickness or having some issues, that you would go and see a physician or a nutritionalist, because that baby is literally not getting the nutrition that it needs. So I don't know if it's not coming through the cord, if you're not eating or drinking, what's needed to support the baby. But it feels more like the cord is kind of squished a little, so it's not quite getting the full expanse of what it needs. But you know, I'm not a doctor. This is just what I'm hearing from my guides. So yeah, that's the challenge. And if you can get to that fairly quickly, it'll be good. But no panic. It's just that's what's being indicated about that baby. Okay. Then someone else is asking, Stacy, if you can hear me, you have my textable number. Can you text me some of the other questions, please? Someone else wanted to know how to talk to your guides, or how to make sense of what they're telling you. Sometimes my guidance when they talk to me, it depends on the level of spirit guide. Sometimes they talk in my ear and it's a really high-pitched twill sound, and then it'll go away. And the doctors, when I went to check it out, said it was tendinitis in my ear somehow, but it's not. They come in close, they're a higher vibration, and they try to talk to you, and because their vibration is so high and yours is so low, it comes through as a high-pitched twill, and I have not been able to understand that in real time yet. But what I am understanding from them is later I'll have a conscious aha moment, and the thought's really clear, and that's what they're telling me coming through. I do have a class called Spiritual Level 1, where I do teach you how to talk to your guides, how to listen, whether you're a clairaudient, whether you hear them, feel them, sense them, or know them. So if you really want to get into a deeper level understanding, I do have that class available on my website at toolsofenergyprotection.com. Then it looks like there's another question about the person who has a bellyache. So let me see if I can connect in with that really quickly. The guides are saying that the belly ache has to do with lower digestional issues. So I would just really take a look at that to see if there's something stuck in the lower intestine. That's kind of what it feels like. I don't think it's anything severe. With the right help, like, you know, prune juice or something, it feels like it would come out. Okay. But that's what the guides are saying, is that that there's something stuck in the lower intestine that's not going through, and that's what's causing part of the stomach ache. They're also saying it's some kind of a pepsic upset. I don't know what the word pepsic means. Upset. And to look at the intake, what's being put in the mouth is apparently not helping. There. Okay. So thank you, Stacy, for forwarding that to me. Somebody else asked me how I experience the spirit guides. That's a great question. When I very first started, I used to see them at night when I was trying to go to sleep, and they would appear in my room, literally like right here. And they looked like, hang on, they're talking to me again. They looked like a silhouette. And they would appear to me, and I would see them, and it was very scary at first, and that's one of the things I talk about in my class. But when you close your eyes, you know, like when you're a little kid and you pull the covers up and close your eyes not to see, you're actually seeing with your third eye or your spirit eye, and there's no closing that because I tried. But that's a good question, Deanna. And sometimes I hear them. Sometimes I sense them, and sometimes I actually see them in real time in my office. And so it just depends on the spirit being. It depends on what their vibration is, all those kind of things. And then let's see here. What other questions do I have? And then somebody was asking, Maddie says, how do I hear my angels better? That's a fabulous question. First of all, discovering what your gifts are. Do you do clear hearing, clear sensing, clear knowing, gut instinct? Different people have different gifts, and that's why I created this class, and it covers all the gifts and how to shield yourself. That's another thing, is sometimes spirit beings come in and we're afraid of them. We don't know who they are, what they want, and it shields up. And even when it's our beautiful guardian angels, I mean, guardian angels are so beautiful, and they come in to talk to us and give us help and give us information and sometimes direct healing. And we're so afraid of it because we don't know what it is that we put up these shields and then we don't allow it in. And so if that is something that's plaguing you, you private message me if you like. We can get together and have a little chat. I would love to have you come and join in my class, where I can nurture you and assist you in those things. So not only can you shield yourself, but you can know who's knocking and wanting to talk to you. Because there are some beings that, when I'm doing these things, will come in and they're very dark and they're attached to my client. Like if this is my client, there'll be a dark being attached to them in their energy field that they don't even know about consciously, and it will wreak all kinds of havoc. It will cause health issues. I've seen it where they cause ADD. I've seen it where they've caused depression. I've seen it where they've caused anxiety. I had one guy who the being was so attached to him that in his relationships, every time a woman would get close to him, it would manifest itself and cause him all kinds of problems. So those are very real issues that I deal with on a daily basis. And I love my job, and I'm more than happy to help anybody who's having those kind of issues and to identify it. you know, what's happening for you, because God's Spirit or Source does not want us to live in fear. Bottom line, we are not to live in fear. We're to live in happiness and joy. So if you don't know what's coming at you, if you don't know what's behind door number 1, then how can you know if it's a guide talking to you or if it's a demon? Or when I first got started, I thought it may be an angel of darkness disguised as an angel of light talking to me, and then surprise, you know. So anyway, but I've been doing this 11 years, so I've had some practice with it. Let's see here. Then I have another, thank you, Stacy, for sending all, she's sending me all of your questions so I can get to them. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. But anyways, in answer to your question, Maddie, how do I hear my angels better? It's a matter of tuning in. It's a matter of trusting. It's a matter of developing your clairs. And then someone else says, how do you contact them? Tanya Randolph, thank you for that question. How do I contact them? Like I said, they started contacting me, and when I opened up and became more of an open, aware light, they all started coming to me, and I was having to sort out with no help, no training, who was a good guy, who wasn't such a good guy, were they telling me the truth, were they lying to me, you know, was it all in my head, did I need to be locked up? You know, all those kinds of things are quite traumatic when you first start. So, you know, Tanya, in answer to your question, I would just begin by prayer and asking God's Spirit Source to reveal to you your angels, and ask for your angels to come to you gently and lovingly, and see what happens from there, and reach out to me if you need help from there. And then let's see. Then it looks like Lisa is asking me, or it looks like she's talking about a pain in her chest. Is that right? And feeling heavy in your chest. So in answer to your question, there can be lots of things. Let me ask your guides really quick what they're saying. They're saying anxiety and fear is causing your chest to be heavy, and that would make sense because this is where your heart light is. So look at what's making you anxious and fearful in your life, and that will help you to know what's going on. Okay, and let me see what else is here. Again, thank you, Stacy, for facilitating the question because the feed is stuck. Okay, then it says, Sheila says the spirits affect the feed, the electromagnetic field. I love you. Sheila, that is probably so true. One of the greatest joys I have in my work is when I'm doing a FaceTime, or I have Zoom that we do private messaging or meetings one-to-one like this. Oftentimes things will pass behind me. The things will be affected. Sometimes it's retrograde. Sometimes it's my internet service I found out isn't very fast. I'm looking for a new internet service now. But yes, they do like to get tricky and stick things up, because when you're working in the love and the light and you're reaching out to people to bring hope, to bring love and light to their lives, sometimes that darkness doesn't want that happening, so it will affect it. And it is an electromagnetic energy. That's so true. Thank you for that question. You made my night. Okay, then there's another question that says, let's see here. Okay. Okay, then another woman asked me if her dad was going to be okay. So first of all, the question is, what does okay mean? But let me contact his guidance really quick. Okay. And it looks like the length of his days are still with you. So it looks like he's going to be around for a while. And maybe you can message me privately and we can talk about that a little bit later, and I'll give you a less public answer. But from what his guidance is saying, it looks like he's got a length of days, which could run into months or even years. Okay, just a moment. I have another woman, Nancy, who says she thinks she's to figure out who your guides are. That can be definitely a huge challenge. And when the spirit beings are in your house, you want to know who it is and all that. Nancy, for you, I'm hearing it's archangels that are in your house currently. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. And now I'm being asked, any more information from the guide about the baby girl? No, just that there were some issues with the nutrition that it's receiving while it's in utero, so make sure you have that checked. They didn't really tell me if it's not the right nutrients or enough nutrients coming to it, but definitely have that checked out. Looks like another person is asking me if I'm on the right track. Feel that one with your heart and your gut. That's the best way to discern that one, because your guidance will work with you in that direction. If you feel like it's not the right thing, that's how you know your guidance is talking to you. Okay, another woman says she thinks her dad is visited, but she always second guesses herself. Please don't second guess yourself. Your first instincts are usually right on, so you're doing good. Okay. Let's see here. And then one gal asked if there was any messages for her. I don't have any other direct messages at this time. I had another gal ask me why there's so much pain in your body. So if you're having physical pain right now where we are in space and time with the energies that are happening, this is a different subject, but you did ask, and so the energies are pushing in on our physical and emotional bodies to get us to shift, because we've been holding on to things that we don't need for so long. It's time to emotionally let go of them. And so when we don't work through those things, different parts of our bodies will be in pain. So in wisdom, not doctors. So if you're in pain, you might want to have yourself checked out by a physician, but just know that sometimes that pain comes from our emotional body telling our physical body that it's not happy. Okay, so then there's another lady, Judy, who is asking about a man who's in the hospital and they don't know where the infection is coming from. It's the lower, I'm getting it's the lower GI, the lower gastrointestinal, so you might want to have that checked out. Oh, Deanna Hellberg says, I have faces that flash in my face. Please reach out to me. Let's get together and get that fixed, because if you got faces that are flashing in front of your face, there's a lot of different things going to be happening. So please reach out to me privately and let's get that one nailed down. Then Cherie is asking about a path for Julio for a job search. Let me see what his guidance was saying is a second interview from today. Let's see here. Thank you, Judy, for the kudos. Let's see here. So another lady is saying, I believe her grandson is having nightmares. Okay, he's got some disembodied spirits that are actually in his bedroom. I can see them kind of lined up against the top of the wall, and they're talking to him because he can feel, sense, or know them. So I've dispatched some guardian angels to protect and shield him from them, but perhaps you want to reach out and let's talk about him being spiritually sensitive. Okay. Then Angela says she would love some direction. Okay. You might want to private message me so we can talk specifically about what you would like direction on, because guides will guide you, but there's so many different topics. There's love, there's health, there's wealth, there's romance, there's our future, there's inner self stuff. So please give me something more specific on that. Then Diana Richardson says, can we somehow put these guys to work for us? Absolutely. Guides are there for us to help us along our spiritual journey. That's what they're there for. Literally, guide means to guide us, right? They help us. And so one of the things in my sessions one-to-one with people is I will connect into the guidance and ask God, Spirit, or Source to elevate them, educate them, and upgrade them. Because I always thought spirit guides were right on target all the time and, you know, perfect and everything else. And it turns out that spirit guides are learning just like we are. So yes, they're agents of God, Spirit, or Source, and yes, they have access to a lot of things. But by speaking out over our lives with the free will choice and asking them to be elevated can really help us. So if your desired outcome is to have your spirit guides help you, then by all means ask them to help you and ask them specifically for what you desire. And I can help you to really narrow that down. But yes, they're there for your journey, but no, they're not our employees. Okay. Then I get another one says, I keep seeing a man in flannel jeans. I was told he was a guide, but someone else tonight told me he was not a guide. Who is he? He's always with me. All right, let's see if we can ask that one to come forward. Okay, so that particular person in the flannel and the jeans is an ancestor. It's an ancestor. It's somebody 2 generations back on your father's side. So that's why he's always with you. Sheila Klein says spirits are visiting again and not sleeping. Okay, if you need to sleep, draw your boundaries. Okay, tell them that you need a night off and to communicate to you in a way that's more healthy for you, because you've got to draw boundaries with them just like you do with people. Diana Richardson says, I have shadows in my apartment all the time. Those are shadow people. Those are different from spirit guides. And there are some things that we can do to bend time-space duality, some really heavy stuff, to make it so that those shadows have to reroute themselves and not be in your apartment. There's probably a distortion with time and space where they're traveling through. I've seen that before, so please, Diana, reach out to me. Let's get together and talk about that one-to-one, because it's so important that you know what's happening, but it's more in depth than I have time for it this evening. Another one says, a friend of mine needs to move on with the situation in her life right now, but is too scared and insecure. How can I help her? She shuts down and won't talk when she is confronted. Regina Wallace, love your friend. Please don't confront her. If she's in a situation that you perceive that she needs to move forward, remember 2 things. That's your perception of the situation. You may be absolutely right, but it's your perception. She, however, is in the situation working through her trials, working through her lessons. And she needs love and nurture and validation, not somebody to judge her or to tell her. And that's why she shuts down, because there's only so much she can handle, and she's probably empathic as well. So, you know, reach out to her in love and compassion. Ask how you can support her in her process, and then let her process what she needs to. That's the most absolute loving thing that you can do for any friend. Let's see here. And I also like to say thank you to Nicole, who also texted me some of your questions that were in the feed. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Then Kendall also, thank you so much. You sent me some things. Wonderful, beautiful people. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. But again, going back to this question of, can you put the guides to work for you? So if you're interested in learning how to hear your guides, see your guides, sense your guides, know your guides, then please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to engage you in a session and help you to understand that. Or there's a class that I have. It's called Spiritual Level 1. You go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on Spiritual Level 1, and it lays out there the 6 easy lessons. You can do them in the privacy of your own home where you're comfortable in case you're empathic. And there's a Facebook group that we've just started, so you have a community to come together. And then every 2 weeks, I'll check up on you, and we'll move you forward so that you can understand those things and be more empowered. Because if you don't know, how can you know what you don't know? Right? You can't know what you don't know. So that's why I have that class. It's for people to understand and hear their guides, or know their guides, or sense their guides, and come into their spiritual fullness and put on all the protection they need, so that you don't have guides or perceived guides right in your face, so you don't have, scary beings, appearing to you as shadows. It's time for you to step forward and protect yourself. It's time for you to really allow God's Spirit or Source to bless you. If you're seeing or hearing spirits or want to, that means you have a gift. You're called to use that gift. God's Spirit or Source never intended us to be poor, but to live a happy and joyous life. And so all these beautiful spirit beings that I work with have been put in place to help us to move forward in our life, to give us a heads up that something's coming. It's up to us whether we make a choice or not. And no matter what choice you make, you're always going to learn. And so that's what I do. I help people with that. And if you'd like to reach out to me, again, I would love to have you. I will be here again, Facebook live feed next Tuesday. So if you want to mark it on your calendar, 7:30 Mountain Time. And I'll come back and I will have a new topic. If I get enough feedback from you, private messaging me, letting me know that you really enjoyed tonight, I may come back and do some more of this similar type work. Just depends on what you would like to know or do. And again, my feed was stuck, and I thank you for all those that jumped on board and helped me. And I may not have been able to get to everybody's questions, but I am available for you if you'd like to get together with me privately. So, big hug, love, kisses. Thank you so much. If you're in the Denver area, I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Lakewood on Wednesday, and I will be at the For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver on Thursday. And if you need more information, just message me and I'll send that over to you. Have a great and wonderful night. Know that you are loved, blessed, and protected.